we literally have like dirt soup. It's extremely muddy. So it has been raining now for almost 2 straight days. We have gotten over 2 inches of rain. Only the first night did it pour really hard and wash our roads out pretty bad. But besides that, it's actually just kind of been a nice steady rain, you know, not like washing stuff out of the fields. You can just see here how, you know, we got different kind of washouts going down through. And so basically that means we haven't been doing much because we want to be doing a lot of field work and we can't get in the fields. My dad worked really late the night before the rain, or actually the same night the rain came, because he knew it was coming and wanted to get as much as he could done. That way we're a little bit ahead when it does finally dry out. But because there's not much to do, I'm gonna do an oil change on the Kubota. This is pretty old, and that means you want to keep up on it more than ever. That way nothing goes wrong. We did make it official now that we are gonna keep this Kubota along with the new one, obviously. That way, especially now this time of year, when we have a lot of field work going on, we can be using both of them and getting more jobs done more efficiently. Especially right here where all the water comes out of the fields. That's actually why Dad doesn't farm this section. It is just actually like sloshing underneath my feet here in the grass. You can see the water laying between the peppers. Sometimes we aren't real happy that we can't really adjust our raised bed layer to do like a level bed because it's high and it makes it more of a nuisance. But then times like this, we're really happy that way the water doesn't run up and over the plastic, really flooding out the peppers, even though it's still seeping up underneath. You can see how this all washed out here. Like when I cover this, I never make the dirt as high as the plastic. Well, this all just washed onto the plastic now, and it is almost like a level bed in this little section here. But if we finally get the rain to stop and it starts to dry out, I think all this is gonna do just fine. And this is another reason why I actually cover the plastic a little heavier than what I would like to, because of this reason right here. The plastic is actually almost out of the ground. It is actually out of the ground, and it's only being held by a couple rocks. Now out there it looks a lot better. This just really washed down in this area here, but if that plastic starts to lift up, we're gonna have an issue. We might have to come out when it dries with shovels and just throw some dirt back up on top of the plastic there. And it's extremely muddy. I was gonna drive the Kubota all the way over here, but it was actually starting to like make mud, so I decided to just stop and turn around. Because of where they have the drain plug, Dad told me to jack it up 3-4 inches in the back. So that's what I did. I'm gonna pop out that plug, drain the oil, and then we'll get to work. So while that finishes up, I'll take off this oil filter. Wasn't changed since 23. Wow, I thought we changed it last year. Or Dad did anyway. Bought these little oil filter wrenches off Amazon. And honestly, I didn't really do much for oil changes until this year. This is like now my second or third one I'm doing. And I like them a lot. All right, so I need 3 quarts, 8 ounces. That's 32, 64, 96, 108 ounces. No, 104 ounces. So I just finished up oil change, fuel filter, and I was gonna do the air filter, but it's the wrong one. So I just vacuumed it off as best I could. Even got a new, I don't know what you call it, like a breather cap or whatever on there. And so my biggest problem I had was the fuel filter. Unlike the mower, this does not stop when you take the fuel filter off. So the fuel just kept flowing and flowing and flowing. And I didn't know that the fuel filter on this was in like a little metal clamp. And so I was trying to pull the fuel filter out, realized it was in a clamp, had to unscrew that, or unbolt that. Couldn't find the right socket, right wrench, couldn't get in there very well. Ended up putting a tub underneath it to catch all the fuel. Then, after leaking so much, I was like, you know what, I gotta just put the hose back on it. Finally found the right wrench and got it all changed. And got just a little bit on the floor. Most of it ended up on the cardboard or in my tub, which was good, so didn't really lose much at all. I'm gonna clean up my wrenches, put down the bed, and start it up. All right, here we go. Lost fuel there for a second, but we're all good. It is now the next day. It is raining yet again. It's basically supposed to do this now for the next 3-4 days. I don't know if it's supposed to accumulate to a lot, but it's just a nuisance. The grass is soaked. And I'm coming in here now to the greenhouse to seed our last batch of cole crops and begin to seed our last batch of vine crops. And when I say begin, I mean I'm gonna be planting our watermelon, because if you noticed about a video or two ago when we were planting our cantaloupe, they grow faster than what the watermelon did, so we couldn't put these in the ground. Now we're getting all this rain and we can't get into the field, and so they're gonna go in even later than we wanted them to. So I wanna start them earlier, even earlier than we did last time. That way, when we head to the field to plant that second batch, we can plant everything at the same time. But before I do any of that, I have to fix my seeder. If you remember a while ago, my switch went, so then I was just plugging it in to turn it on and off. Well, now I finally got a new one, and I gotta disassemble this first. And then to wire it up, I have these two wires for my switch, and these two wires here, and we'll be good to go. So I really don't know which wire goes together, so I'm just gonna guess, and if it's wrong, then I'll have to redo it. I just hope I don't burn something up or ruin something. So both the wire nuts are on. Let's try it before I put anything back together. Got it plugged in. She works. Now that that's set, I gotta get my seeding soil, which is in this bag right here. Gotta break up those big balls of dirt. Before I start seeding, one more thing I wanna do is water the greenhouses, but I thought I better fertilize, so that's what I'm doing right now. This is 17-4-17, you can see it coming up through the line into the dosatron, mixing with the water, and then coming out of the hose. Now I gotta let it run for a little bit, that way it can go all the way through. We usually don't like to fertilize on rainy, cloudy days. Seems to make stuff want to stretch, but we're not 100% positive, but we are pretty sure this Wednesday is going to be our last day for plant market, which we go to at the hometown farmers market. As long as we have a decent day, because there is a chance that it gets pretty rained out. We're not 100% sure yet. It's just that we only have like 12 or 15 Marthas, not a lot of grasses, not a lot of anything left. I mean, basically what you see here is all we have besides the couple different flats in number 2. And so if we can have a semi-decent day on Wednesday, that'll be it. But like I said, if they're calling for nasty thunder and lightning, we're probably not even gonna go. It's just that we hate to hold on to this stuff any longer than we need to, but we wanna keep it nice. So that's why we gotta keep watering it, keep fertilizing it, taking care of it, just like we do every other part of the season. This should be starting to come out by now. No, not yet. Oh, it looks blue. Perfect timing, yep, there it is. You can see it there even better through the side. So just like every other time I seed, I gotta make my tags with my label printer. And for the late season, we do 2,320 plants of just cheers. So I've already got my date filled in there. You can see that 6/16. So I'm just gonna put cheers. And then when I press print, it's gonna ask me how many I want, and I'm gonna do 5 flats of those. So I'm gonna need 5 tags. And it should start printing them. There they come. And I'll cut that off. Now I could print each tag individually and then cut it with the cutter on here, but it actually saves some tape and I'll just cut those by hand and then I'll stick them on. All right, so I got my tray. Right now I'm doing flamenco, which is a cauliflower. And I'll just take that sticky part off the backside. And this is an old tray, but it's washed and sanitized. Actually has big beef and tomatoes. Go right over top of that. Some trays are only half, some are full. Actually, a lot of them are full. But this one is cheers. So this is gonna be all the way. And then once I get this filled up, I'll make my impressions in the soil. And I'm finally ready to start seeding. So this is all my trays that I'm gonna be seeding for the late cole crops. This is all cabbage. This is all cauliflower in that back row. This is broccoli, and then this is just assorted collard greens, kohlrabi, kale, and I think one or two other things. So then over here now at this station, I'll take this flat, make sure it's centered up right, and make my impression. I don't wanna go crazy deep, there's no really reason to. Just deep enough so that seed has somewhere to sit. That looks pretty good. And then we'll set it here in my tray holder. So here is my chia seeds from Rupp. I always try and mark how many seeds I have left. That way I don't have to count them later on to know how many we're gonna have for the next year. So it says I have 3,000. I'm only doing like 2,500 or something. So I should have more than I need. And all the cole crop seeds are pelleted, which make it really nice for my seeder. I can go really quick. There isn't no like picking each seed off each cell or each hole. So I'll then bring it over here. It'll fit nicely into this tray. So it drops the seeds perfectly every time. Shut off my vacuum, give it a little bit of a tap. So all those seeds drop out. Huh, well there's still 3 there. Usually that doesn't happen. So I'll put those where they need to go. But as for everything else, it's just about perfect. Get a little closer there so you can see it. Once in a while it will, like one seed will pop out from one to the other, so we'll have a double, but not that big of a deal. So Dad and I just finished up. This is all the trays right here. That is the last time using that seeder for the season. Now we still have the seedless watermelon to go, which we're gonna do tomorrow, and then the cantaloupe. Then I think that is finally it for everything for the season. And it is still raining, just ridiculous. It's like a light mist, but yet it soaks you in like 2 minutes. So it's the next day. It's supposed to rain again today. Not supposed to see any sunshine, but not supposed to be as much rain. So at least that's better than an inch like we have been getting. And now Mom and I are heading to the strawberry field and gonna see what we can get. We haven't picked in like 4 days. And the strawberries look like they ripened up nice again. This is the same section we've been picking because, well, this is the only place where there's berries. I haven't been out the other end, but my pap and Mom both say that there's bushes there, there's just no berries on them. Mom just got done with her 12th quart. I'm on my 9th. Because we've been having so much rain, it's just not good for the berries. And we're finding a lot more rotted ones than what we would like to see. But we are finding quite a few nice ones, which is also good, because we honestly thought there's gonna be even more bad than what we're seeing. If I can find one here that's a prime example, right here is perfect. This is one that was laying on the plastic just a little bit, and you can see how it's like all mushy right there. It's a shame because the rest of the berry is nice, but if you put that in with the others and it doesn't sell, it's gonna rot them all. So we can't put anything like that in, which is a shame. So we gotta be careful. Sometimes you can get into a cluster of like 5 or 6 and they're all nice. And other times you get into a cluster of 5 or 6 and they're all rotted because one just rots the next. So we just finished up. We got 30 quarts in all. And that was about everything that was good in this section. Because today is Tuesday, that means tomorrow we're gonna be at the Hometown Farmers Market, so we need to load today. So that's gonna get started here in a couple of minutes. But before that, we wanted to plant our seedless watermelon. Now, I knew that our tub of dirt was sitting outside, so I assumed it was gonna be a little bit wet. So I got a nice dry bag of dirt to mix with it. But then I came over here and I looked, and we literally have like dirt soup. I think I could use about 10 bags of soil to soak up all this water. Now this thing does have a drain plug, which actually, I don't think the plug is in it. Might just be plugged with dirt. Oh no, the plug's on the inside. So I think I'm just gonna take it over there on the side, drain as much of the water out as possible, hopefully save some of the dirt anyway, and then mix my bag of soil with it because this is just not usable. Maybe if I take the plug like halfway out, the water will seep out and the dirt won't. Well, too late. I just don't really know what else to do in this situation. Try and spread it around a little bit. Now it stopped. Why did you stop? Must have got clogged. I mean, I gotta assume there's a lot of dirt in there. So that's gonna happen. So I did what I could. I still think it's gonna be a disaster. Right now the water's I have it like at an angle and the water is just kind of seeping out of it. Which is nice, trying to scoop it out. So I'm actually on my last flat. I think I did like 8 altogether or something close to that. The soil's still pretty wet, but it's usable. I'll make my impressions in the soil, which is just taking a single cell from our other packs. And the reason I do this is it just makes it faster, at least I believe so anyway. When I'm dropping the seeds in, like what I could do is take the seeds and drop them on top and then push them each down and then cover them. But I think doing this, dropping them in and then covering it is faster. Maybe I'm wrong. That's what the seeds look like. They're basically just a watermelon seed, or they are just a watermelon seed, then coated, which it wouldn't be a bad idea to wear gloves, but I'm not gonna do that now. 3 seeds, like I said, in each one. I like to make a triangle formation with them, and I might go back through with tweezers and just fix them up a little bit, but it's too hard to do right now. The seeds are too small to like fine tune it like that. They don't have to be perfect. I think sometimes I'm over fussy. I just don't want them on a pile. So I just finished up. There's all of them. This is just the seedless watermelon.